Hey people, it's Wednesday already, almost Thanksgiving. 23rd of November. Cheers, folks. I'm just getting my motor running. Thought I'd come over on and say a few things. Happy Thanksgiving to people. Early. We'll see if I make a video tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm supposed to spend part of the afternoon with my family via Zoom in California, since I can't be with them. But I hope people have a good Thanksgiving, and I hope that the day somehow can have more meaning than just a calendar day. That maybe somehow some folks can have a mental refresh, and maybe get in on a thankful tip, a more positive tip for a while, and spread some of that energy. Let me go ahead and shout out this morning to DJ Vinyl Vertigo 676. Glad you found me, brother. I just checked out your channel. It is important to me to know that in this world, other people of color, my color, and other various tones know that we are one. It means a lot to have you in my corner. So life is funny. I went through quite a long period of nothing showing up in the last 3 days. Records have shown up every day. So I want to acknowledge what I've received, but also I can go ahead and give you some feedback. I received a package from Seeking a Thread, Dom. Thank you, Dom, for sharing your work with me. This is his band, Material Objects. Content versus Carrier. I just love the fact that you folks are sharing your music with me and that it's decent. You know, I really don't want to have to worry about speaking honestly about people's work. If it's good, I can say it's good. If it's not good, I'm not going to say it's good, okay? This is good. Dom describes it as a little post-punk, some shoegazy. I can see that. What I get from this is that it's honest. And I could, it's nice. 45 RPM clear vinyl. Nice disc. I could imagine playing these tunes with you, Dom, and your friends, and getting into it. I didn't notice the words, but I've said that many times. It's music first, and the sound of the voice first. And in general, more important in general for me, the total picture is more important to me than the words. So first listening, I got all the way through it. Side 2, it cranked up. Side 2 was like, okay, there's some momentum here. So side 2 got even better. Thank you, Dom, for sharing this with me. And you folks that like what we said, kind of lo-fi, kind of shoegazy. I wouldn't personally use that term here. He referenced New Zealand sound. I can see that a little more. Sincere is what I get from this, and the focus is not on the playing. It's on it sounds like it's the group moving together, making this sound. I like that. I like that cover too. He sent me a single, Chimes of Bayonets indexer. Now my first impression of this, because when I get stuff, I do like to drop the needle right away, because that's what's fun. That's one of the fun things about record collecting and buying is opening the record and playing it for the first time. I enjoy that a lot. And so my first impression of this was, well, I'll have to come back to this. The singer's voice is different. I don't know what they're singing about, and I can imagine if I saw it live, that would make it all make sense. So I have to listen to this again. It was okay. The other album you sent me, Dom, is real pleasing, and there's even a personal connection actually to me. Roy Montgomery, Audiotherapy. This is fantastic, especially once we get past the vocals. I want to hear your music. And Roy Montgomery is a guitarist. I'd heard of him. That's a beautiful color, but I can't recall what I've heard him play on before. But this is a recent album. It's put out by my friend Simon Joyner. This is on Grapefruit. This is on Grapefruit Records. Very nice. Very nice artwork. Heavy. Is this a tip-on jacket? Very nice. And I like this. Sheets of sound with the guitar. Beautiful. Beautiful cascading. Big guitar sound. Really like this a lot. Thank you, Dom, for sharing this music with me. I appreciate it so much. And interestingly, Simon is a friend of mine, and we have bantered about trying to collaborate. But one of the things that keeps me from collaborating more with people is that I'm a homebody. I don't like to hang out. I don't like to go to parties. And Simon invites me to his parties, which I appreciate. I've gone to one. I really don't like parties. I don't, I like Simon. And I get how this is like, Simon puts out stuff that personally resonates with him. The first song on this, I thought of Simon without even thinking about the Grapefruit. I could hear that sensibility. But it may still happen possibly that I'll work with Simon, but I like Simon very much. I do, as a person, I do. So thank you for sharing that music with me, Dom. Thank you for sharing your music with me. And I encourage folks to pick up on it. Yesterday I listened to some of the Discus music, and the one that I will try to talk about today is this one, Green Money by the Evansdale Ensemble. Discus music out of England. Martin Archer's label. Hats off to Martin and his endeavors here. He's putting out personal, I consider high quality music in high quality packaging, CD only. This music is adult, but there's a psychedelic aspect to the approach to me. Now this is like storytelling. This strikes me that the whole purpose here is to present these poems, and maybe some of these are stories. See, the deal is when it comes to sound, I respond to the sound more than the meaning of the words. And so I can't remember what it was that I was hearing them talk about on here, but I listened to pretty much the entire disc. Really enjoyed it. And the musical settings are varied. It's not all the same. It's not rock. It's really, really quite good. There's a quote on the back up here that I'll read. I just noticed it. A vision of a new society with new ways of thinking is possibly the most important thing an artist can offer at the moment. Brian Eno. I think that's appropriate for what Discus Music and Martin Archer is up to. He's playing with some of the cream of the crop of the history of British music, as well as people who are not so well known. But the aesthetic of what's going on here is very artistic, very worthwhile. Thank you, Martin Archer, for what you're doing. And did I go back to... I have a pile... Yes, so... I showed you this yesterday, but I don't think I really talked about the music. It's not music. This is sound. This is, to me, is really very good, and this is the sort of thing that really draws me into sound. It's like a tapestry. I love that record too. It's a really nice heavy. It just really feels nice to put on the stereo. Illusion of Safety. There's sticker. It's a sound tapestry where you don't even know who's doing what. I like when that happens, when you're able to weave a world of sound where you get lost in what is it conjuring in the mind, as opposed to, oh, listen to that piano. Oh, listen to those garbage cans being flailed about. Oh, listen to that wall being scraped. I love it when the elements, those sort of elements, combine to create something that takes you outside of it. And this does it. And it's kind of, it's almost beautiful. That's what I look for. I like beauty more than just bleak darkness. I recognize it. And I recognize the need for some people to express that in their art. But I like light. I do. Coffee is good this morning. I still got my Muffins Baker's Dozen sitting right here on my desk because I haven't gotten all the way through it. More to go, but you know how it goes, Dave. There's so much to absorb. I'll be getting back to your Baker's Dozen, my friend. But I did some listening yesterday, and I do listen. I'm a person who sits and listens. I may read while I listen. I may browse the internet while I listen. I may draw while I listen. I may just sit and smoke and listen. But I love the way that music is like taking a journey mentally. It really is. And I watch a lot of stuff about music on the internet rather than movies, a lot of documentaries. So I've been watching these shorts by Gillis Martin, however is his name, the guy who's been remixing Beatles records. And there's another channel about psychedelic music, a guy with long hair. I like his approach. He was talking about introducing the Beatles and how, for him, this is one of the Beatles' best albums. This is a bootleg. He was talking about that too, how you can tell if you have an original. I knew when I found this ages ago that it was a bootleg because it had been ages since I'd seen originals when I was a kid. This is a horrible sounding bootleg. Horrid. It's like somebody recorded it off the radio. It's ridiculous. So thankfully, I have the 2009 digital remaster of the album in its original form. Please Please Me, the Beatles. And I have to agree, this is a very strong Beatles album. And it took me back to what I connected with about the Beatles. It was their song, Love, There's a Place. That was one that was kind of melancholy, spoke volumes to me as a little boy. Those are the kinds of things that get you. Do You Want to Know a Secret was my first favorite Beatles song. And Please Please Me. Great album. Great album. Dave, if you happen to see this, I listened to this all the way through yesterday. This is really good. The way I would describe this, Every Shape of Diamond, is it sounds like it's almost like a conversation between the guitarist and the drummer. The guitarist, Joshua LaRue, has a nice, how do I want to put it? Because conversation is the word that kept coming up. It's like you can hear that he likes to play the guitar, and it's like he's not playing a song melody. It's like he's talking to you with the guitar. And this is really nice, the way that this flows. This is really good, actually. David, thank you for sending this to me. I do recommend it. Again, it's a limited edition. This is brand new 2022 release. There's only 100 copies of this. Pick up on it. Look it up. You can find all this stuff real easy on Discogs. Been thinking about Ryuichi Sakamoto. Hope that he's recovering and doing well. Hadn't played this forever. This single with Jill Jones, the Prince protege. You Do Me. I just love Sakamoto, and this was fun. You know, I listened to this all the way through with the remixes because he's someone who, when he, well, a lot of people do this. When you do remixes, you make sure they're all real different. So this was really enjoyable. You Do Me. I listen to more. Yeah. I listened to three sides of the singles. This is a very well curated album where they put together pretty much all their released singles, and the way that it goes chronologically, time-wise. I really enjoyed this. What an interesting, unique band. COVID robbed me of a gig I was going to be doing with Damo Suzuki of Cannes. I had been hired to be his sound carrier organizer for his Omaha show. I was the person chosen to put together a band for him, and then COVID hit. That sucks. That would have been a major bucket list experience. Pulled this and listened to this all the way yesterday from the band Placebo out of Belgium, if I got that right. Marc Moulin. Long gone. I think he was also behind the band Telex that had the Disco Moscow hit. This is great fusion jazz rock. He's a very good pianist and writer. This has its own flavor and its own identity. Placebo is a band, not the English rock band, but this band from Belgium with Marc Moulin. Look this up. This is real good. What's the name of this? I think it's just self-titled. Really good. I watched the In-Groove from Phoenix, Mike, regularly. I like him. He's very commercial in his interest, which is fine. But I like his vibration as a person. And he showed where he showed the new box set version of this that's coming out on Black Friday, which tempts me because this is a really good album. Todd Rundgren, Something Anything. As a kid, I won a promo copy of this, a blue and red vinyl version of this. But I was just a kid, so it's long gone. And I tortured it, you know. I got it before I could really appreciate what I had. But I listened to almost all of this yesterday. I met Todd Rundgren, and he owns my records. I'm happy to say that, he said, I keep these records, my friend. It's really nice to meet Todd Rundgren and most of Utopia, a few times actually. But one time I got to talk to Todd. This is a really very, very good album. And then I was watching, I watched a couple of documentaries, one on Radiohead, didn't pull any records, but then I watched another one on the band Death Grips. And I do like Death Grips. See, I like music, and I know what I like. And Death Grips makes a sound. Now, the lyrical approach of the MC is over the top, and it's pretty crazy. And yet, interestingly, I can relate to it. So I was playing some Death Grips last night. Particularly what I played and really got into was Bottomless Pit. Really got into this. I love Zach Hill's drumming as well. But the manipulation of sound and the edge of chaos that they create with their approach. I love it. Excuse me. I also played some of this one. The Powers That Be. Yeah, this one starts off like a house exploding. Really good. Now I also have Ex-Military. I didn't play this last night, but I got it. This is a boot. But even boots are really hard to come by. So when I found this, I couldn't believe that I really, when I saw it in the used section, it's like, what? I knew it wasn't an original, but whatever it was, I grabbed it. And this is great. I also have Money Store, an original of it. I didn't play this last night, though. So that's an update. Is there anything sitting down here else? I played some more of the legendary Pink Dots new album. I really like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So, whatever else I'm forgetting to mention. Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry still getting played over here. Love this band. I know what I like. And then here's some stuff that's sitting out because I have a bunch of music that's on burned CD because the records are so hard to find. This is Alfredo Tisocco, Gruppo Italiano di Danza Libera. And this is one of those performance pieces out of the 70s where the music is very abstract and it's built into the performance. This was kind of cool to hear. Pacific Sound, Forget Your Dream. This strikes me as a studio creation to pick up on the psychedelic wave that was going back then. But some of this is pretty good. I enjoyed it. And then this, CMU, Open Spaces, jazz rock sound. There's so much music, people. And would I like to own all the cool records? I sure would. Stephanie, I know you watch me every time I get on here. I hope that back's doing better today. Thinking about you having to drive tomorrow for a couple of hours to see the family, but I hope your body will be up for it. Looking forward to sharing a little bit of time with everyone tomorrow. I'm not concerned about what I'm going to be eating tomorrow. I could invite myself, and I know that I have an open invitation to a lot of different people's homes, but I'll probably just stay here. But it feels good to know that I'm welcome. I'll spend the time with my family. How are you all doing? Y'all take care.